working on a 20th century stained mahogany side table. It's not a very old table, but it's kind of unusual. There's a lot of damage to the top where the wood has been peeled back. The wood's totally missing. I used a product called plastic wood to fill it, and it usually works pretty good for me. I use a 600 and sand it and refill it, and sand it and refill it until it's where I need it to be able to color it, stain it, put a finish on it. Got a lot of these. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those, but I might try to wax fill them. Not sure yet. And the top up here, this isn't really, well, it's down through the finish. The finish is pretty thick. So I'll probably try to fill it with resin or whatever I'm using to finish. I'll probably fill it and then sand it and then just do the whole top again. So I noticed a lot of white cracks below the finish. I'm not sure how those got there. I'm guessing from the heat. I'm not refinishing this, just repairing it. Otherwise, I'd take it all the way down, strip it, and respray the whole thing. Okay, so let me get the sand on this and I'll show you what it looks like afterward. Got some 600. I have to build that up a little bit more. I think I'm gonna have to. Right there's a low spot. So that's what we'll do. That's that. Let that dry. Here I'm going to put a little bit of shellac on it to seal it so that I can control the color a little bit better. Sometimes if I put the dark stain on this or whatever I use to color it, it gets too dark and I'm not able to back out of it. So I put the shellac on and seal it, and then I can bring it back to where I need it if I go too dark or mess it up. That's that for now. I just use regular shellac for that. All right, we'll let that dry and get back to it. Here I'm using a little bit of dye stain on the raw parts that I sealed. I can layer it if I need it to get darker. It's Extra Dark Walnut by Mohawk. Very good product. I'll let that dry and come back to it. realized the camera wasn't on, so I already started one of the holes, but I have got it on for this one, and I'm going to show you how I put the cyanoacrylate, or however you say it. I use a product called P210. It comes with a lot of nozzles and small needle-like nozzles you can use. It comes in handy for a lot of stuff. I'm just trying it out for the first time on the surface, so we'll see how it works. Okay. It looks a little rough right now, but once it dries and I sand it down, it'll blend in with the top a little better. Oh. All right, let that dry. Come back down here and take a look at this one. And that's ready for another coat. Okay, we'll let that dry. All right. Let that dry, and then I'll put some more dye stain and adjust the color. And then when we get to the right color, we'll start working on the finish. It still has an indentation in it. It looks terrible. I know it's kind of hard to see. There you go. So today, I put a piece of tape on each side, taking a new razor blade, and I've been just gently scraping over just bringing it down to the surface of the top. And when I get really close, you know, I'll sand the whole top, and it should blend right in with the rest of it. That's the idea. So let's see how it turns out. So this is what it looks like after I brought it down. I used a piece of 600. I'm going to be going over the whole top and roughing the whole surface up. But I did this just to make sure this was going to be even and down. So you can see the piece here. I can feel it really light. So I need to come down a little bit more. I'm digging a hole in the top. This one is really doing good too. Okay, feels nice. Gouge is gone, so hopefully see if we can get this finished. All right, this is where the indentation on this leg, I've really had to fill it because it just looked bad. Okay. Got filled. Oh, it feels really nice too. Good. That was the goal. Everything looks good. Using a piece of 600 just to rough the surface up enough. I use a little toner and then a finish, and it should be good. Okay, so I've used 220 to dig into this finish because it has some really deep scratches, and it still has some pretty deep scratches in it, but I'm not going to go all the way. So the main concern was just to repair the top. These big chips out of it, and the two holes in the finish on top. So I'll take it down a little bit more, and then I'll hit it with some 300 just to get a nice clean finish on it. So let's get to it and see how this turns out. All right. Clean it up with the tack cloth, and then just spray its first finish on there. I want to seal this right here before I stain it so that it doesn't come out really dark. And then we'll match the color to that. Get this on. Still see these here, but once I get some finish on it and sand it, I think it'll be okay. All right. Okay. I sprayed shellac, a good coat of shellac. This is its actually second coat, and sanded it. I had to go over these edges with some stain, some dye stain, and these little things in the middle, they don't look too bad, you know? So those are the darkest, so I just hit them with dye stain. Hopefully when the coats get on there, they won't be so dark. But the whole top looks pretty good. There's these edges here. Right in there. Those are the ones where the actual wood was missing on them. And I'm working on those right now, so they're not finished. You can see they laid out pretty flat, which is good. Once I put the finish on there, it should disappear. But it looks pretty good. It'll be pretty nice when it's done. All right, we're back. What's up, Princess? Ruffle your feathers. Well, I'll move it for you. Just hang on. Here we go. Everything's looking good there. I'll have to sand it down one more time. It looks a little milky. Might be because it's raining outside. There's the middle where them two big old nicks were taken out. Look really good now. One more good sanding and a coat.